Hello, friend. Good morning, everyone. So now we are going to talk about USC NAT Paper 2 Education. The topic Idealism. This idealism is a philosophical perspective that pursues the primary of the mind and consciousness in shaping and definitely reality, defining the reality. Idealism is there is no reality existed, but the reality is how it is constructed because of that mind or by our consciousness. According to the idealism, the external world, including objects and events, is then dependent on the mind's perceptions and interpretation. That means this idealism there is the reality cannot be exist because the whatever the external worlds or event this only depend on our minds or perception of our minds based on our mind. Okay, it stands in contrast to materialism. This is totally the contradict of materialism because materialism there the things are available, the things that exist, which the every person can be seen. But in the other hand, idealism there is this the thing observes it cannot be exist only based on our minds or based on our perception. So which asserts that the physical world exists independently of the mind. Okay, so that the physical world is available there. This materialism concept, then idealism has been a prominent and influential philosophical position throughout history, where proponents both in Indian and Western philosophical contradiction. So here the philosopher, the proponent of the idealism there, Western philosophers and even Indian philosophers are there. So here we will see that who are the exponent of that idealism from India. There the idealism consisted is associated with the school of Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta, and which is a non-dualistic form of idealism. There is talking about a non-dualistic. There is a no two concept. There is a no individual or Atma and Brahman. So Atma and Brahmans are the same form. They are coming from the same things. Okay, so that's why this is non-dualistic and the shape and this Atman and Brahman is in reality there cannot exist, but it is the perception of the individuals. The chief proponents of Advaita Vedanta is Adi Shankaracharya, and according to Advaita Vedanta, Brahmans the ultimate reality or absolute. So which is the only true exists, as the entire perceived world is the illusions or maya. So and the individual Atma is ultimately identical to Brahman. Okay, there this is the Atman is the part of the Brahman. So that's why the Atman and Brahman in reality we cannot see by our open eyes. Okay, so how we can constitute, how we can construct that according to our things about Brahmans and Atma, because our perception, our beliefs, our thinking system is created is Atma and Brahman. So the chief exponents from the Western traditions, like we can say Plato. Plato, the Greek philosopher, proposed a form of that idealism is then like Platonic idealism. He argued that the material world is an imperfect reflection of external external realm of perfect and unchanging form or ideas. That's the Plato is not supporting in that part of the physical world. Physical world is a part of that what we have thought, what we are thinking, external realism. So Berkeley also there and Fichte also and Frederick. Okay, the main proponent, the main theme of that idealism. Let us understand the primary of mind, primacy of mind. Here mind is the main important here, because why? The idealism is based on the belief in the primary of our mind or consciousness. This and the mind shapes and construct reality. The mind is only that thinking that there is a reality, but the external world is depending on the perception of the our mind, interpretation based on the interpretation. But it may not be exist, especially when we think about the God. Have you seen ever God? No. How we can think? Because God is our belief system, but our perception by interpretation we are constituting. There is a God. The power of God has. So this is the primary of our mind, primacy, and non-materialistic view of reality. So idealism rejects the materialistic view of the physical world is the ultimate reality. Instead, it emphasizes the significance of mental and spiritual element in shaping the existence. So when you think about the God, the existence of the God, if you are that not believing in the religious, so the existence of the God is formless for you, is nothing. There is a cannot prove. Okay, there is the argumentative words maybe when you don't believe God. So existence of ideas or form. So the idealism also believes the existence of abstract entities like Platonic form ideas, which are more real and unchanging than the transient physical world. So that are the role of perception and experience. Perception and experience play a crucial role in the idealism. Why? Because they are essential for the formation of reality. So when we perceive the things or when you perceive the things and based on your mind you are constructed with your interpretation centuries you are creating a new identity or new form to believe the things, right? So because of that, and the main philosophical ideas of that subjective realism and objective realism, I'm not going to discuss with this thing now. We can go further than realism. Realism is totally the opposite of idealism. Realism, the word itself is say real. Real means the talking about the external, the physical world, which we can be seen, which we can be experienced, which we can be observed. So the realism is a philosophical approach that poses the existence of the external objective reality is independent of human perception of thoughts. Whatever we think, whatever our perception is free from that our perception of thoughts. Okay, that means it is the objective is the independent. It assesses that the world exists as it is. So if you are thinking about the duster, if you think about the pencil book, it is exist. It is reality. Reality is a that is form. If you think about the God, God is not there. So that means in realism, the concept of ideas, concept of perception of mind is totally rejected here. So and also regardless of the whether it is perceived or understood by human things. Now, if the things are available, if the things are available now whether you understood or not, but there is if the something is exists then there is the concept of realism is applicable. The realism rejects the idealism, yes, as I showed, because realism is totally opposite of idealism, which holds the reality is the product of mind and consciousness. Because in the idealism, the philosophers the things that reality cannot exist. When reality can exist, when we think, because it is the product of our mind, what we have think, what we have perceived, what we have experienced through that, then it is that reality. Because of that they are opposite of each other. So now some of the exponent of realism concept in Indian as well as Western Indians, there we can see that Naya school is the religion. Their name philosophers Gautama believe that the systematic approach to logic And epistemology emphasizes the objective reality of the external world. So, and also we can say that there are many other form there. They are Western realism. Western realisms. Here we can see the Plato again. The Aristotle. Aristotle is that student of the Plato. Aristotle saying that realist metaphysics based on his philosophy of substance. There the things are there, objects are there, and distinction from the potentiality and actuality. Okay, so the realism is then objective reality. Objective reality is that the things are available in the form of objects. Okay, and then independent of mind. There is no control of the mind, no, not the dominance of the mind. It is totally free from that mind or consciousness or thinking or belief. Because why the idealism concept of that? So the things are existed, it's free from our thoughts, it's free from our mind. Although if we are not aware about that, but still the things that exist. So that is supporting the realism. Causality. Realism acknowledges causal relations with the world, even in objects, and have a specific cause and effect. If there is a things that available, so they are the try to find out that there is cause and there is the effect of the things. Then there is a relationship. Okay, the common sense and experience. Here, yes, when the common sense and experiences there are valid to gain the knowledge about the world. Now, some of the philosophical ideas are there. Metaphysical realism. Metaphysical realism that we know the universe, we know this galaxies, right? So that is the metaphysics beyond our that and epistemology. I am not going to talking everything. So now we are going to that a concept of naturalism. Naturalism is talking about that. It is also one of the school of philosophy there. The nature world is fundamental. Nature world is a fundamental reality, and then everything can be explained by natural laws and processes. So here, it is the existence of supernatural or spiritual entities and maintain that the universe operates solely through that natural phenomena. Natural naturalism and is closely and with the scientific inquiry and critical thinking and emphasizing empirical evidences and observation on the basis of for understanding the world. So in naturalism concept, what we have said, the fundamental reality is that nature world, the things, but here the things will be control or the things will be flow with the natural laws and the processes. There is a no human dominance will be possessed there. The things will be flow or overflow. It will be natural way and natural processes. They are that supernatural power and spirituality and the atma and that the Brahman, these things are totally rejected through that naturalism. Now, let us understand that. See proponents of naturalism from the Indian are Charvaka and Rabindranath Tagore. Okay, so from the Western concept that Western concept, Rousseau, we can say Rousseau, and okay, so Rousseau, I have a skip here, and the main themes of naturalism. Naturalism also believes in the materialism because the things which are associated with naturalism and physical world is the reality of the reality because and naturalism doesn't believe any supernatural power. Okay, this the things which are available, the phenomena are available, and by consciousness we can feel, we can see available on nature way. Okay, and the scientific methods there, naturalism relies heavily on the scientific inquiry. The primary means of acquiring knowledge is that evidence basis, observation and experimentation. Then rejecting supernaturalism, yes, there is a rejecting that there is a no God, no Atma, no that Brahmans. Okay, so and I'm not that one. And now the some of the philosophical. Uh, Now we can come to that pragmatism. Pragmatism is talking about the progressive education, or talking about that practical aspects or some activities. Actually, this pragmatism philosophical process originated in United States during late 19th and 20th century, early 20th century. It emphasized the practical consequences and usefulness of ideas, beliefs, and theories. Now, in pragmatism concepts, they are more giving importance that focusing on the practical when going to the practical aspects or practical work, and that there will be the ideas or beliefs will be some useful, and that is that some activities will some productivity consequences will be exist there. According to pragmatists, the values of ideas lie in the ability to produce practical result and solve real life problems here. And like it is not, and that idealism is only belief throughout the mind, but here the pragmatism is talking about the activities, talking about the action, the thing, the thoughts will be in reality, it will comes as a product or as a outcomes. So the pragmatist rejects the absolute and fixed truth, instead emphasizing the importance of examining the practical implication of belief and action. There is the belief, whatever the belief will be implemented in the action, or it has a reality. How is the reality? The reality will come in the form of that outcomes or as things. The Westerns then Charles Sanders Peirce is the founder of pragmatism, and he introduced the term pragmatism and developed key pragmatist principles such as the concept of truth as a convergence of belief and pragmatist maxims, which encourage the focusing on the practical consequences of ideas. And William James, also Dewey. John Dewey has a very democracy education, one of the important book. This books this also came several times in an Indian from Indian exponent are that Bimal Krishna Matilal. Okay, so I'm not going through this every each and every portion. So there, the main themes of pragmatism is this instrumentalism, how our thoughts and beliefs, it will come, it will navigate, and it will bring some of the productive thing. Okay, those thoughts and these theories will work as a tool, as an instrument to solve the problems, to bring some solution. And it is an empirical methods. Pragmatics relies on the empirical methods of inquiry, emphasizing observation and experience. It is like naturalism, concept naturalism. Also, there is a scientific method, scientific inquiry, but here it is an empirical method. But here the practical observation and experience are taking place here, and the anti-absolutism. Their pragmatism raises the absolute and fixed truth. The truth may be from the multiple aspects, and based on the it may be contextualized or evolving nature of the knowledge. So consequences and the result. Pragmatism main emphasizing that they are the something problem solution. The consequences there may become consequences or outcomes of the result of the ideas. And practical problem solving, yes. I'm not going through this. So now Marxism is a social, political, and economic theory. You might be studying in other paper, other subject like political science and history and English literature about the Marxism. So that originated in we know that Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. These two friends in the for 19 um, 14, 1840, around 1848, they have that one talking about that Marxist concept of philosophy, and it is based on the materialism interpretation of history and critique of capitalism. The more materialism, and they are talking about the capitalism there, seeks to analyze and understand the underlying structure of society, especially the class struggle between the proletariat and bourgeoisie, and one is the working class and the capitalist class. Here, let us say, from India, there are Manavendra Rai. and EMS and Nambodi Namboodiripad, and he's the first Chief Minister of the state from Kerala. Okay, so here from that Western concept that Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels they have written the Communist Manifesto and Das Kapital, 1948 or 1840, around 19th century. Okay, and their main theme is the historical materialism. Marxists employ a materialist approach to history and emphasizing the role of economic condition and class struggle in shaping societies throughout the history. And there is a class struggle with working class and that working class and the capital class. Okay, so I know this and um, now we can come to the existentialism. Existentialism is talking about the Emer's 18th century Emer's and focusing the individual existence and freedom, choice, and subjective experience of human life. Here there is a no natural flowness and no dominance of the mind or things. Okay, here totally the individual existence. I was talking about the individual existence and freedom. Freedom of choice here. We can take example like when as a child is studying in class 7, 9 or 11, 12, or going after passing your metric matriculation. Now parents, most of the parents, they force to do a study on the science, study on science or medical. So now here there is no freedom of choice. According to the existentialism concept that parents should give the opportunity to their kids, to their child, to choose the courses and whatever they want to study, and there should be the freedom of the person should be thinking about the existence of his or her reality. Okay, then he or she will do that take responsibility of and concerning of needs of them. And then there is then the exponent the Kierkegaard and Kierkegaard and Nietzsche and Jean-Paul Sartre and Albert Camus and Hedger. So okay, so then we can see that freedom and choices exist and emphasize the human freedom and individual responsibility in making authentic choice and regardless of external constraint. To and there is we can this absurdity and meaningless. Some existentialists argue that the universe inherent meaninglessness created the absurd condition. Absurd condition means there is no reality that and challenging the individual to find, produce, and create meaning in life to their education. Student-centered learning. Their students should be given in proper responsibility and there should be their interest should be child-centered education. Their interest should be given more priority in the teaching learning process and emphasizing freedom and responsibility. The student should not be given any assignment or anything from their teachers. The teacher should give the opportunity to to think about to take responsibility what kind of assignment or activity will be taking place in the classroom situation and development of the critical thinking. The teacher should give more to develop critical thinking of the learners, allowing how questioning and exploring their values and considering the consequences of their choices and authenticity. That the product of their education, the product should be the outcome should be authenticity winning from that learners, not from that copying and paste or something like that. And engaging with meaningful and values existentialism education encourages students to explore questions about the meaning of life, values, and ethics, helping them to develop a deeper understanding of themselves and the world. So, here are some of the practices we can go for that. Which of the following best describe idealism? Idealism is believe that reality is primarily shaped, yes, in the mind of each because mind is the main here dominance part of that. You can see that this philosophy perspective that poses that the primacy of mind and consciousness shaping identity and reality. So I'm skipping few. So I will share this material on that comment box. So you can you can you can, if you feel it is really helpful, then you can use it. So here, according to the Plato idealism, the physical world is that a perfect reflection of eternal real of the truth, because imperfection reflection in the eternal realism and perfect and unchanging form. Okay, so in that we can say another topic, another questions. Okay, so which Indian philosophy is the chief proponent of realism? Here, Nyai, Gautama Buddha. Okay, Gautama Buddha here, and according to the realism, what determines the nature of reality? Reality is that realism is available. The things are available. So there, the physical laws and natural processes. So in realism, nature of reality determines the physical laws and natural processes. It rejects that the reality depend on the human perception. It is not depend on the human perception. So the things are available in the things, which but which of the following is not a main theme of realism? Absurdity and meaningfulness. Absurdity and meaningfulness is an existentialism, because it's not the main theme of realism. It is that merely associated with the existentialism. We have seen absurdity, meaningfulness, freedom of choice. Okay, these are the existentialism concept. Here I will get to what does the naturalism possess about the fundamental reality? Reality is that naturalism saying everything can be explained by natural laws and processes. Okay, so we can go to the another. The main emphasis on naturalism in equating knowledge, how we can equate the knowledge based on the evidences and observation. Okay, it is available in the realism also. So this thing you have to be very clear. The concept should be very clear. Which of the following is the main theme of naturalism? Naturalism is a value pluralism, not value pluralism. It is absurd and meaningfulness will be in value pluralism will be idealism, absurdity to existentialism, causality will be realism, and objective reality, the things are available means this naturalism. So, who is the considered the founder of pragmatism? Charles Sanders Peirce. He was the founder, and he talking the term he introduced was pragmatism. Okay, the concept of the truth is called of belief and pragmatic maxim. Another last question: which Western philosopher is associated with the concept of deism in existentialism? Is Martin Heidegger. Okay, thank you all for watching. I will share this PDF file on the comment box so you can access and you can study. If you have any doubt or you have any comment, so please, you are most welcome. Thank you.